Cartier Tank is one of the best looking watches on the planet. The only problem is, it's one of the worst value for money watches on the planet. So although yes, the Tank is a beautiful watch, when comparing it with other watch brands, it becomes clear just how little you get for the money. For example, take this £10,000 Cartier Tank Louis. It comes with a mineral crystal. That is shocking. So as a watch collector, I think it's natural to look for an alternative. A watch that delivers the same style, the same vibe as the Cartier Tank, but one that costs less and is built better. Now it can be hard to know where to look. Where can you find the best tank alternative? Lucky for you, this is an area that I am absolutely obsessed with. I constantly scour the internet to try and find the best tank alternatives, and in this video I've compiled a list of the 12 best ones that I've found over the past year. First though, huge shout out to all 82,816 subscribers. I'd love for you to hit subscribe and be one of those people. Alternatively, drop the video a like rating, it helps with the mysterious algorithm. Okay, we're starting off with a proper tank alternative. This one delivers serious tank vibes with the aesthetic, with the feel of the watch, but there's still a little bit of originality here, and also a genuine slice of history. This is the Parker by British micro brand Duckworth Prestex. The Parker is a heritage model from the Prestex range, reimagined with modern materials under the grandson of the original founder. The white Roman numeral version was only released this year. Duckworth Prestex decided to really lean into that tank aesthetic, with a gorgeous white dial, black Roman numerals, and that beautiful railway minute track that is synonymous with the tank. And for a tank watch, it features the perfect dimensions. 24mm case, 40mm for the lug-to-lug, but it's the 20mm lug width that's the perfect dimension on this one. You're going to be able to wear it with almost any strap because it's a black and white watch, and it will pull it off effortlessly. It comes with a Swiss quartz movement, you get a curved sapphire crystal, 50 meters water resistance, stainless steel case, £495, you know, isn't the most competitive compared with other micro brand watches, but in the rectangular dress watch market, this is for sure one of the most competitive. You get tank vibes with a little slice of history. Okay, next up, we've got one of the strangest Cartier Tank alternatives on this video. This one is for the person who doesn't necessarily like the dressy side of the Cartier Tank and wants one that's a little bit more utilitarian, maybe more of an everyday wear. This is the Neutra Rivanera in white. And this one recently won the best watch in Teddy Baldasar's video that he did with Kevin O'Leary. Art Deco dial on this one, it's very minimal, super clean, but it's the case here that really offers a juxtaposition. Titanium, sandblasted, bit of an angular design. It doesn't really feel like it matches the design of the watch, but somewhere in there, it kind of just all works together. This one features a hand-wound ETA 7001 movement, 40mm lug-to-lug with a 20mm lug width. Again, that's the sweet spot when it comes to dimensions for this style, but it's the 5.9mm thickness that's the most impressive part. It's going to slide under the cuff like a piece of paper. It is on the more expensive side, but again, this is a Swiss-made watch with a Swiss-made movement. It makes the Cartier look like a bit of an amateur, because this one features top spec for considerably less money. Okay, next up, we've visited another British micro brand, and this one is a little bit similar to the last. In short, it's not an out-and-out dress watch, but it delivers Cartier Tank vibes, and I think this one is for the person who wants a Cartier-styled watch, but likes sports watches, likes everyday watches. So this is the Tonneau Paris by Figura. Figura is a British micro brand that produces their watches in Switzerland. Firstly, size here, it's the biggest so far today. 35mm case by 45mm lug-to-lug. Thickness is a little bit more than the others too, 10.5mm. But that means first of all you get an automatic movement inside of here. It's the Sellita SW300, and it's actually the elaborate grade version of the movement. This watch does still feature Roman numerals, quite a classical dressy dial, but it features a brushed steel case which dresses the watch down quite a lot, and it also comes with 100 meters of water resistance. Price here comes in at £1,095, which at a glance you might think is a little bit expensive, but remember the elaborate grade Sellita, sapphire 100 meters, also the fact that this is a Swiss-made watch. This one is for sure one of the better value watches on today's video, even though it is one of the most expensive. Okay, getting back to something that is through and through Cartier Tank vibes. We're actually going to be visiting a heritage watchmaker, a big Swiss brand. This is the Carree by Frederique Constant. Now this one is on the smaller side, 25mm case with an 18mm lug width, but it's the dial design here that I'm sure a lot of people will vibe with. It's got your classic Roman numerals, your classic railway minute track, black and white contrasting effortlessly with each other. The only thing to consider is that this one does feature quite a small handset, so if you do have bad eyesight, the combination of the smaller case case with that smaller handset might just be too much of an issue. Swiss quartz movement inside, sapphire crystal. You can pick this one up at retail for £795, although do some shopping around on the grey market and you might find it even cheaper. If your Cartier Tank alternative needs to have a big brand name on the dial, then the Frederique Constant Carree is for sure one that I'd consider. Now, if best spec for the money is all you're after on this video, then I think this might just be the one for you. So this is the Islander Astoria from New York-based watch brand Islander. Again, this is sort of a modern playful take on the Tank, but is still jam-packed with Art Deco design cues. Instead of Roman numerals all the way around the dial on this one, we've just got Romans at every quarter hour, but we have two beautiful railway minute tracks on the dial, and this dial is jam-packed with detail. It looks $1,000,000. Again, a blued handset, this time with a cathedral style, and the shape of the case with its step construction also delivers Art Deco vibes. This one is a little bit bigger in size, so it's for the larger wristed collectors, but you can't argue with a sapphire crystal, stainless steel case, and a Miyota 9000 automatic movement. Islander watch are known for delivering some of the best bang for buck in the micro brand world, and the Islander Astoria is no different. $329 for this one makes it one of the most competitive on today's video, although you will need a bigger wrist to pull this one off. Next up, we've got a Cartier Tank alternative that is packed with energy. Now, what makes this one fun is that it's a sporty, sort of contemporary take on the Tank. There's still Art Deco vibes running through the design of this one, but it feels a little bit more modern, one that you could wear with a t-shirt and jeans just as much as a suit and tie. Now, this is the Memoir by Second Hour. This is an Australian micro brand that is a fan favourite amongst micro brand collectors, and that's because they deliver excellent quality with excellent designs. Now, this one features a Swiss quartz movement, but it does feature a nice sub-seconds down at the 6 o'clock. Stainless steel, sapphire crystal, and the case actually features a hardness coating which is going to help with scratches. I think you get this one though if you want some colour with your Tank alternative. It comes in white, black, blue, red and green. Also, the price here is hard to beat, £292, and there's even a discount code on the website so you can get it for even cheaper. Brilliant dimensions, brilliant price, top spec, full of energy. This is for someone who wants a modern playful take on the legendary Cartier. Okay, so next we've got a watch that is more on the nose in terms of delivering that Cartier vibe. Stainless steel case, silver dial, black Roman numerals, and also the gorgeous blue handset that we've come to expect with this style of watch. It uses a Swiss quartz movement, but you do get a sapphire crystal here, and in terms of size, it's a little bit smaller than the other watches that we featured. This is the Etape Classic by Monchard watches. Now, what I like about this one is that you still get the Cartier vibe, no doubt, but this one does still come with some playful dial colours. You can get a salmon, a purple, a green, or you can stick with the classic, go with the silver dial, but I think all options here do look $1,000,000 and could work in dressy and casual situations. $300 for this one certainly isn't bad, although it is a brand that a lot of people aren't familiar with. The case is a little bit chunkier than your standard Cartier, which will help with delivering a little bit more wrist presence because of those smaller dimensions, but I think if you want the classic Tank aesthetic, maybe with a playful dial colour, then the Etape Classic is certainly one to consider at $300. Okay, next up we're visiting France for another Tank alternative, this time a little bit different. Straight out of the gate, this one doesn't feature a rectangular case. So you might be thinking, how is this a Tank alternative? Well, it delivers the same vibe, the same aesthetic as the Tank, in that it's sophisticated, it's classy, it's Art Deco, and this is actually a homage to an older Cartier model, so therefore does have that Cartier vibe. This watch features a circular case, also known to collectors as a pebbled case, and it also features hidden lugs, that being where the strap comes out from under the case, so this one will wear beautifully. It is a smaller piece with just a 33mm round case, but you can't argue with a 6.8mm thickness. It isn't a spec monster, it's got a mineral glass, it's only got 30 meters of water resistance, but the price point here does reflect that. $225 including taxes. This one isn't going to wow you in terms of spec, in terms of the build quality, but in terms of the design, this one is effortlessly elegant, and for the price point, you know, you just can't argue with it. So people might be a little bit confused as to why I'm including this one on today's video, because at a glance it doesn't feel or even look like a Cartier, but when making these videos I want to offer some watches that are maybe a little bit different, watches that you maybe didn't think of, because it still offers the same vibe, you know, it's still going to work in the same situations as the Cartier Tank, however it's a little bit different, a little bit of an eye catcher, and one that you might not have considered. So this is the Dennison ALD. These feature hidden lugs under a TV shaped case, and it's the way the dial flows into the strap and and the handset works against the dial. This one is just super clean, it lets the dials really take center stage. And Dennison uses stone and mineral dials on most of their watches, and it offers something that you likely haven't already got in your collection. This one comes in at £522, which at a glance isn't the best value for money, granted, but in the dress watch world, this is one of the most elegant, and good dress watches are expensive, because good design is expensive. Again, I'm throwing a little bit of a curveball at you with this next one, but this one for sure delivers a little bit more Cartier than the Dennison. So this is the Ecce Figura Alba by French watchmaker Beaubleu. Now this one does feature a rectangular case, however the edges are slightly rounded off, but the reason I decided to include this one is because it's Art Deco through and through. The dial design is pure Art Deco, and then the stepped construction to the case just finishes everything off. Now what makes this one unusual, of course, is the handset. A circular handset on a watch is something you don't see very often, but if you're just about crazy enough to like this one, then I think you're just about crazy enough to wear it. This one is automatic using a Miyota 9000, and it also features hidden lugs, so this one looks beautiful on the wrist. The dial design does feel Cartier, with the white dial and the black railway minute track, and two of those hands are even painted blue, which just finish it off nicely. This one comes on a beautiful steel mesh bracelet that looks super dressy. £728 for this one. It's on the more expensive side, but for a dress watch, it's got good spec, it's got a really cool design. It's one that you likely haven't considered, but one that you probably should. This is a beautiful new watch by a new French watchmaker. This is Blanbois, and they're based in Paris, and this is their first ever watch. Now what Blanbois have done is they've taken the Cartier Tank and given it 1000 milligrams of caffeine, because this watch feels like the Cartier, but with tons more energy. The rectangular case has been slightly squashed, so it's more squared off, but it's the dial design here that's the star of the show. The Roman numerals have been elongated and slightly tilted, which makes the dial design look a little bit crazy, but somehow they've just about pulled it off. Now what makes this one so exciting is the specification that you get for the money. This one features steel, sapphire, however getting a Solita SW210, which is a Swiss handwound movement, for just €600 is simply insane value for money. This one is on Kickstarter, so you will have to pre-order this one if you're interested, but this one is for sure one of the most exciting, one of the most different watches on today's video. Still delivers a Cartier Tank vibe, but with a slice of its own originality. So Duckworth Prestex gets a second watch on today's video, but this one is completely different. Where the first Duckworth Prestex featured Roman numerals with a quartz movement, this one features Arabic numerals with a mechanical movement. And next to each other, although these are both called the Parker, they both look and feel like completely different watches. The dial design on this one is Art Deco, it's vintage, it's got a beautiful design, and what I really appreciate about this one is that it sports the simple Prestex name. ETA manual wind movement in the back of this one, which you can see through the display case back, and size again has been absolutely nailed. 40mm with a 20mm lug width, white dial with a black print. You're going to be able to wear this watch on pretty much anything you want. Also, this is part of the Swiss made range from Duckworth Prestex, which I think makes the £795 price even more compelling. When we've talked about value for money today, I think this one is near top of the list. Swiss mechanical movement, sapphire, great design, and from a brand that simply offers beautiful watches. And if you haven't seen part 1 where I checked out 10 different Cartier Tank alternatives, then go and watch it, because there's 10 more great watches different to the ones featured in this video that you might want to buy. Go and check it out. I'll see you over there. Bye for now.